Hello, welcome to SRK Chat 13. We are the SSC Promotions organisers, Diego, Sam, Luke, and joined by Mr. Oliver Bayani tonight of Stallone Campioni Racing. Hope everyone is well this evening. So we're going to be talking about the last round of the Southern Rental Kart Championship, the internationally renowned SRK Championship, thanks to Mr. Jackie Stewart now, about Herefordshire Raceway, which was a few weeks ago. So, Luke, how did it go for you?
Yeah, ultimately, speed was really good. I got the fastest lap, so that was good. The heats were quite tough, but yeah, came 8th overall. It was a lot better for me than it was for the rest of my team. It wasn't such a good time for Swift Cooper as a whole.
No. What about you, Ollie?
Yeah, it was all right until the third heat where I spun on my own. But
Ollie.
Yeah.
You did do that.
Still getting back into the swing of things. It's been a few years since I've been racing, so yeah, still a bit rusty, clearly.
What about you, Sam? How was it for you?
Just a bit of a meh kind of round for me. I mean, considering I was span out of the lead in one of my heats and managed to recover a top 6 result. So yeah, it is what it is. Safe round.
I enjoyed it as well. I enjoyed smashing into you on the last lap of the A final.
Yeah. I'd like to say the same, but
yeah, no, it was a really good event. It was again our busiest ever event. It was at 78 drivers. I think it was Herefordshire's biggest ever event as well. They did really, really well. Chris was a great race director. I'm sure everyone wants to give a thumbs up on the stream for Chris because he did great. And we're definitely planning to go back there next year. And the junior event was great as well. So why don't I bring up the results while we're here? Who won? Oh, it was Neil, wasn't it? So Neil won the event. There he is.
Not long ago.
No, that's Ben.
It was Henry, wasn't it?
Yeah. There we go. There he is. I should say I've done absolutely no preparation for this evening, so I'm just pressing all sorts of buttons here. There we go.
So nothing new.
No, I usually do like 3 seconds of preparation, but I did none. So yes, Neil won that, and well done to Tom Seabrook who won SRK2. There he is, and yeah, it was a good performance all around there. Have I got the junior results on here? No, I haven't got the junior results, but good job to Henry as well. So we might as well jump straight into it because we got lots of stuff to talk about. So first one I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you the A final. So this is not an incident. This is just on board from the start of the A final. So this is from me. So I might as well talk out how it went. So obviously I tried to get Zach at the start there, but he just covered me off at the start. I didn't push the issue too much because it was lap 1. I didn't think it was such a good idea to do that. And I was just concentrating on looking forward, not losing any positions at this point. I take quite an aggressive line into that first corner, brake quite early into this one, send it in quite on the inside, but I can get quite a lot of understeer there. I gain a little bit of time on this bit, lose a bit on the exit. Behind me, I think I had, I think it was Morgan at this point, and Jacob Lewis as well. So I was just trying to make sure I didn't lose too much time there, but. Yeah, I mean, all in all, it was pretty good, really. There wasn't anything to talk about from that one. But anyway, I thought I'd just add me in third place because that doesn't usually happen. So, just my perspective. All right, so the first incident we've got. What is the first incident we've got? There we go. Okay, from heat number 3. Oh, I've cut this actually quite quickly. So I'll go very quickly to the onboard on this one. I've just got 2 screens up here, bear with. And I'm going to slow it right down, and then we'll watch it again in slow-mo. Just bear with here, sorry. Here we go. And I'm going to be even.
Just Jake Shute, Thomas Seabrook, and Jordan Moore, right?
Yes. Yeah, well done. So, Sam, you know who they are then. So why don't you talk us through what happened there?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like Jake was on the outside, and you can see he sort of saw an opportunity to maybe drive around the outside of this driver, but they've blocked him off. Someone goes down the inside and then doesn't quite give enough room for poor old Jake. And that could have been worse, I will say. That could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, absolutely. So this was from heat number 3. Actually, the driver involved is Tom. Yeah. So I should say first, by the way, we're not trying to give out penalties in this chat. We're just discussing things. I know that these moves happen all the time. Like it's fine. It's just what we can talk about afterwards. So if we talk about nothing, we'll have nothing to discuss. But yeah, I mean, that was a mistake, but it's fine. Lots of people do that. So Tom said, I did my best to turn the wheel. I think he's absolutely right there. So he probably carried a little bit too much speed into it. What would you say, Ollie?
Yeah, it's a bit tight on the exit for sure, and he's lucky not to get stuck in that barrier. I think a couple of years ago, I don't think they had the matting on those tyres there, so if you hit them, you just stopped. So yeah, I think he was lucky not to get stuck in the barrier there, but yeah, no space.
What would you have done if it was you, Luke?
Well, it was a good opportunistic move going into it. More space needed on the exit. Just had to try and keep that a little bit tight to carry that a little bit less speed in to avoid running that into the wall on the exit.
Yeah. Do you agree, Sam?
Yeah, I would say that the initial entry was good, but you can see that there is a little bit of a pushing over to the right. I wouldn't have penalized anything for it, but when you actually see them past the apex, you can see that at that point, Thomas's positioning is threatening to put Jake in the wall. So if I was Tom, I probably would have lifted right here. If I was Tom, I would have thought, oh, I'm going to end up putting him in the wall here. I need to lift and really go over to the left.
He's got his wheel turned all the way there. Look.
Yeah, but I mean, you can see there's good effort made, but it also looks like Tom didn't know that he was still alongside him. So yeah, you could kind of say it's 50-50. But if I was a marshal watching that, I probably would have given a penalty. But at the same time, you can see he's making a decent effort to turn left. But was it enough? Could he have come off the power and been more aware? Yeah, don't know.
So Jake made a good point in his video. Actually, he said that you passed him, Sam, earlier on in the race at that corner, and you were able to make that move, and you left him room on the exit. So it may just be just not knowledge of the tracks enough, so. Because I saw that quite a lot. A lot of incidents at this round happened because it was just knowledge of the track. Remember, in season 1 when I dived Ollie down the bridge, and now we know that.
I remember that.
Right. But I didn't know that at the time. But it seemed like this is a great idea, and then I dived you and took you out, and that happened quite a lot here because people don't know that it's not always a good idea because you're off camber. So
this is why we have this chat, though, isn't it? It's to sort of look at this and then evaluate what should have been done or what could have been done. And yeah, I mean, going in here was a great entry, but I would have came off the throttle and also not been turning so much into Jake. I would have been really pulling it left, because in my head I'd be thinking I absolutely cannot put him in the wall, otherwise I'm going to get a penalty. And I'd be thinking one place versus a penalty, it doesn't weigh up. It's almost not worth the risk. I would have pulled it really, really hard left, and even if he would have driven all the way around the outside of me, oh well, I tried. Yeah,
that happened to me actually a couple of times. I went for the move on the inside, and then I was like, yeah, cool, I'm going to make it, and then they just drove around me, but then next corner you get them right, you just wait. If you're quicker than them, you're going to get them anyway.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, yeah, that's pretty much all we need to say on that one, I think. So let's jump on to the next one, which is a corner back. So here we go on this one. It's from heat 13.
We got a lot involved in this one.
Lots going on in this one, yeah. Yeah, so lots going on in that one, though. But yeah, let's watch it again in slow motion. So we've got, the colours relate to people. So Jason in the red goes for a big dive bomb here. Gap's there. It's aggressive. I think that's probably on that. So he's gone for that on, I put Charlie, I think it might actually be Jamie Brand. You've got the same helmet and everything. And then he's lost the position, Jason has. Dylan on the outside ahead of us has lost another position there just because of a small bump in here. Mark's our cameraman. Sam's our cameraman. I'm sure that no one's really trying to make contact, but there's a small nudge in here, and Sam's able to dive up the inside of Dylan here because Dylan's kind of turning in a little bit there for me, and then he ends up taking the position. I think I wasn't really paying attention there. Dylan actually saves the position still. So
I will straight away. I'll jump in if you don't mind. Dylan's a little over aggressive on the defending, and it wasn't necessary in my eyes. I think it costed them both maybe just a tenth of a second on that corner. But it's actually really, looking at, is it Jason Ford?
Jason in the red, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he's overcooked it. A fantastic attempt at an overtake, and he's overcooked it and hit the wall. And unfortunately, it just didn't work out. But I'm actually looking at this thinking this is great racing. There's nothing really going on that's an issue other than this right here with the bit of a squeeze. But it's not really... All it's done is affected him. And again, he tries it here. And again, it's not really harming anything. So other than that, I actually quite enjoyed that. That was a good bit of racing.
It is good bit of racing, and I think this sort of level of competition is kind of thrown a few people off already this year, just because everybody is so tight. You've got this kind of like small nudging in the pack. Everybody's trying to take every single corner, and a lot of people are just not used to it. What would you say about that, Ollie?
The initial dive, I did think he was going to T-bone the guy right in the front of the queue. I think might be Charlie Summers, but. Yeah, apart from that, it was just Rubbings racing, isn't it, really? Nothing intentional after that. It's just all... That was a little bit naughty squeeze into the inside, but... yeah, good racing. And then here he just clips the inside barrier and loses all his momentum. And to be honest, Hereford's actually a really tricky track to overtake on, despite how it looks from the outside. It's not the easiest one to get done.
Well, speak for yourself. I think it's wide, like... what do you say, Luke?
Yeah, all in all, it was pretty good racing between all of them. They gave each other enough space to avoid anybody ending up in the wall. The defence through this bit was quite aggressive, but it was kind of aggressive, but enough you can get away with. He kind of killed the momentum enough to stop Sam from coming through, but it's not something we can give anyone a penalty for. So all in all, it was pretty good racing.
Yeah, it was. I think it's like I said as well, a lot of people just... if this happened in indoor karting, you might be thinking, there's quite a lot of contact going on there, but just this is kind of the level we're at now. Like, a lot of this does happen. You've got to accept a little bit of this nudging, like whoever said it, rubbing is racing, right? Within reason, of course. But
there's nothing here where someone has upset someone else and forced them in a direction they didn't want to be in. And fair play to Dylan. It is Dylan Evans, isn't it?
On the right, yeah.
On the right there, for holding on to that. That could have ended badly for him. And he's clearly come off the throttle for a moment and tucked in. And he's thinking at this point, oh my God, I'm losing so many positions. He's just trying to come back in. And I think any of us would have done the same. But it's good.
Yeah, it is good racing. I completely forgot to say, if you want to vote for your driver of the day, there we go. Put your driver of the day vote in. We'll announce that at the end. We're also going to look ahead to the Exeter round. We're going to talk a little bit about that event. As I said, I forgot to plan because I'm hungover. So come at me, bro. But we'll work it out as we go. So yeah, vote for your favourite driver. You can vote for as many drivers as you want, but you can only vote for one at a time. Okay, next clip. Let's have a look at this one. Oops, turn that off.
I'm impressed there's a lot of this in the midfield at the moment. Goes to show how close it is in the midfield.
That's what I was saying,
Who have we got driving here, do you know?
I didn't put a thingy on it. Great. As I said, no prep. And what I'm trying to do here is show it in slow motion. I'm just going to tell you who's in this. Right, this is Mark O'Grady's camera. And head on, we've got George Braund, his teammate. And ahead of him, we've got Dylan again, Dylan Evans. And interestingly, all three of these are on the same team. So I don't actually know what heat this was. I think maybe heat 13. Am I doing this too slow? What are we on now?
No, this is good.
All right, let's go back. Here we go. I think I may have shared the wrong clip here. Anyway, here's the move I'm talking about. So they're coming to the hairpit, to the under the bridge turn here. And George is going down the inside of here. Loads of space for Dylan. And Dylan's trying to defend it. Not going to be able to make that. George squeezing a little bit on the outside. Dylan ends up in the barrier and loses the position to Mark. I don't know if Dylan went off the track there as well. But yeah.
He looked like he hit the tyres on the outside. I think he went off.
Yeah, it looks like he should have been given an extra inch, and that would have just been enough. The corner was in... Sorry, the chap in the purple helmet. The corner was in George's favour. But yeah, no need to sort of run them out. I'm not saying he did, but he could have just pulled left a little bit, an inch, just to avoid getting a penalty in case Dylan crashed out there. You know, if Dylan would have hit the wall and span, there would have been a penalty coming George's way, and it's not worth that risk. Sometimes giving that extra inch avoids that penalty. You know,
This is some BSR level of teamwork here. To just drive each other off the track. Would they do that at Swift Cooper, Luke?
That hasn't happened yet. Hopefully it doesn't happen, but we'll.
What do you think about this one?
Yeah, no, I agree with Sam. George should have given that touch more space just to avoid Dylan from hitting the wall. Going in that little bit tighter there automatically runs you out that bit wider, so you kind of need to bear that in mind while you're overtaking there to make sure you don't run the guy into the wall on the outside. So yeah, he should have given him that touch more space.
Yeah, do you agree, Ollie?
Yeah, definitely should have given more space. Because if you think the curb there on the outside it's a big curb, you can almost get all 4 wheels off it, and he's 2 wheels on that curb, and the guy on the outside is all 4 wheels off the track and some. So yeah, he's not even on the curb at that point. He on the exit, he's up against the tyre wall. So yeah,
But can't Dylan just lift out of it though?
Yeah, I was about to jump in and say that there is another thing from Dylan that he could have just tucked back in, but then you run the risk of Mark being able to then send it down the inside because he's come off the throttle. So no one wants to lift, do they? That's the problem. But,
I would say there's enough alongside to keep his foot in. I think he's still halfway alongside when he's into the tyres.
So this is one thing I've been mindful of the first 2 rounds is in the past, if that was me on the outside, I would just try and keep my foot in it, and I'd just try and hold it, and end up losing the position, getting in the messy stuff. So I'd like to think I would try and just tuck in at this point and just let the position go, and then try and tuck in behind the driver past. And a lot of incidents did happen where people were just trying to hold it on the outside or the inside just too long, you know?
There's one particular moment where if I was Dylan, I would have realised, right now, I need to tuck in now. It's lost. And you can see right now, he's thinking, oh, I've still got a chance to tuck back in front, but maybe the cart hasn't quite got it. And it's at this point, I would say here, where George has gotten about 50% ahead, and he's got the right to the turn. I'd be thinking, I need to back out of this because there's nowhere for me to go. There's nowhere for me to switch back. There's no benefit to staying on the outside.
Yeah, right. Yes. I think this is the difference between. I mean, everybody's so close on lap times, but the top drivers, that knowledge of overtaking moves is what I see makes the difference. I think because that's almost like live to fight another day kind of thing. But anyway, yeah. So let's that was that.
It's a good clip to analyze, actually.
Have we lost Sam? Oh my word!
I'm here.
Sam.
Hello.
Hello, you're back.
Oh, you're back.
What did you say?
I said it was a good clip to analyze.
Yeah, it was. Okay, cool. Right, I think we got a couple more, and they're both from my headcam. So there's going to be no conference. Nothing.
Smash Sam's coming then.
What? Come on now. Don't be silly.
First clip will be me in it. You watch.
There is no way that is happening. Oh, how did that go on screen? that was a mistake. Here's me. My headcam. We've got 2 angles of this, by the way. And I want to know, is this a fair move? Because this is a dive bomb.
I was going to say, that's a lunge and a half.
Yeah. I thought it was a great move, but, is it?
I would say that was fair, to be honest. It was forceful, and that curb on the inside you hit is a massive bump, so braking on that is not easy at all. But you were fully alongside, and I just was watching where you go on the exit. Yeah. God, well held, actually. You keep it tight, so yeah, I would say that's absolutely fair. Hard but fair.
There's room.
I'm 50-50 about this because the launch across the curb is good. Getting alongside is good, but then you slightly tap him there, which allows the exit of the corner for you to then stay ahead. I would have said if you didn't touch him, he would have stayed alongside you all the way down this straight and maybe got back in front.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, and the fact that there's someone else on the right there as well. I mean, they took the position because of the move that I made on him, right?
Yeah. It's this little slide that you couldn't control right there. You do miss the corner at the apex by a couple of inches because of the speed, the extra speed you took in, and yeah, he's lost a place or two. I'm 60-40 penalty for that, if I'm honest.
Oh, it's getting more. Oh dear.
If I
But yeah,
honest,
a hell of a commitment.
in the unlikely chance that I would make that move, if I got a penalty for that, I'll be annoyed because there's not much contact. You don't push the guy off the track or way up the track. You push him a touch wide, but it's not a big hit at all. And yeah, you get the position, and I think it's all fair. You're fully alongside. I think even ahead when you actually make contact.
Yeah.
Just at that point. So yeah, I'd say absolutely fair overtake. Hard, but yeah.
What do you think, Luke?
Yeah, completely agree with Ollie. Aggressive, hard, but fair.
It's funny how I'm the one that's the aggressive driver, and yet I'm saying it's a penalty. Yeah, I mean, the chat and everyone seems to agree with you, and I think it would be extremely harsh to give a penalty for it because it's only because we've got this slow-mo footage that you can analyze it that a little bit further. There and then on the track, I wouldn't have given anything for it because it's just not enough. You can't see it, especially as there's no marshal on that very corner as well.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
It's,
no, 10 out of 10 for effort. I'll give you that.
I mean, I was hopeful like that the gap was there. I did take a risk there, right? Because if he'd moved across, then I would have been fucked.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So that was nice. Pat on the back to me. All right. Okay. I think we've got one more. Sam, do you know which clip this is?
I don't know. You got to show me first.
Yeah, I know. Let's just get this going.
Oh no, this is gonna be Lucas, isn't it? Oh no.
I'll slow it down. Oh my god, there's so much going on here. I'm trying to All right, let's just bring it up on my other side. There we go. Here we go. It's the A final. A final. Sam up front, me as the cameraman. Absolutely send it. This is last lap for 5th place. I'm keen to hear Luke and Ollie's views on this because I could go either way. Like it could be unfair.
Honestly, I would have gone for that gap. Sam made a slight mistake hitting the curb, went a tiny bit wide. There was a gap there, and you just put your cart right where that gap was. So yeah, I would have gone for that. I think I had an incident at Coombe on the first round where it's similar, where there was a gap and I just stuck my cart in that gap, and it's contact. Always will be contact, but yeah, I would say that's absolutely fine.
Bradley doesn't put in the comments.
I'm waiting to the end to make my comment.
It's very opportunistic, but what's important for that is that you stayed right on the curb on the inside. So you didn't properly push Sam out of the way. You kind of stuck your cart in there as Sam was cutting back to the inside curb. So because of that, I'm quite happy with that move.
You also didn't run Sam out wide on the exit. You gave him space.
So this was a mindset change for me in this race. So I was down to 7th, started 3rd, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go for it, be more aggressive. So I saw you get held up behind Jacob, and I was like, whatever. Last lap, there's the gap. Send it. There's space. Was contact. But anyway, go on, Sam. What's your view?
So what actually happened was last lap board came out and Jacob decided to slam the brakes on the inside line, which I then actually went into the back of him, and it opened the gap. So when I seen you come in, I was just like, whatever. It was out of my control. So I was at the time happy with it, and I still am, to be fair. It's extremely aggressive, and I'd say that there's that little bit of contact on the front about here where you do kind of just knock me out a bit, but it clearly wasn't that bad because if you look, I'm still there. You've given me racing room. and you've just kept your foot in. And at this point, I'm probably thinking, right, I need to tuck behind you, and I've tucked behind, and we've gone around the corner together. And I'm pretty sure on this very corner, I was on the right. You can see the shadow, and I was aiming for a switch back here because, yeah, it was a good move. In my opinion, a good move.
And I came out of that corner and went straight over to the left.
Straight over to the left. Yeah.
Are you able to pause it on the apex of this corner where the contact happens?
Oh yeah, let's see it. This would be damning, wouldn't it? Let's have a look.
Just where the first tyres are.
There.
That is a perfect kart size gap.
Let's go.
I don't know. That looks a little bit smaller to me.
Literally, there is a gap that's big enough for a kart there, and you put your kart right in that gap.
Literally, just before you paused it, you touched me. So you've already hit me actually at that point. I'm not sure if you can like stop and start really quickly. You see that little tap, and then that creates the gap, in my opinion. But I still wouldn't give a penalty for it because you cannot see these things in the heat at the moment. That little tap, I think, and then you're like, oh, just come on, get in.
Yeah.
I think you're both lucky there wasn't somebody close behind you, because I think they would have got both of you.
We would have lost.
Oh, I was. I think on the third hairpin, I had someone alongside me because of the fight that I had with him here, and the defensive line he took for 2-3 corners. It almost costed me a place to Seb Miller, I believe.
No, that was me actually.
Oh, was you? Was it? Yeah, someone in blue.
Seb,
I don't know.
Seb then got me at the last corner. So.
Oh, did he? Good, you deserve it.
When I asked Chris about this, race director, he was like, it's one of those. And I was like, yeah, I probably should have.
That's him saying, I can't be bothered to talk about it anymore.
Probably, yeah. Would I have done that move on anyone else? I don't know.
Yes.
Maybe.
I would have done that move. I would have tried it.
You would have done that move, yeah.
100%. And,
gaps there.
Yeah. No, I actually, after the race, I was fine with that. And I remember you coming up to me saying, what do you think? And I was like, that's fine. Don't care.
You were just like, I don't even care anymore.
It's just like, I don't care. Yeah. I was just disappointed in the result, but no, it was a good move.
Okay, good. Right. Fantastic. So another. Oh my word, we got 26 votes on driver of the day. Everyone's paying attention. Oh, cool. So I guess I've turned off the function where you can not vote twice somehow. So it's already gone wrong. You don't win anything.
You don't lose vote for half the grid, right?
Is that what it is? I vote for everybody to have a good time. Okay, right. It is time for the
Diego's potato move of the race.
I already know where this is going.
Why? What would this be, Ollie? What's going to be the potato move?
I have no idea. Yeah, this one. I still have no idea what happened. You've got a bit. It's a nice donut.
That was a good donut.
The tyre marks are left on the track.
Oh, there's a rear view of
behind. Bye.
There's even commentary of that as well. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
If you look carefully, when you do the full donut, you see the tyre marks of a full circle on the back.
Oh, really?
What happened?
Where did you spin there?
I can even hear you saying, what happened?
Yeah. I firstly thought I clipped the inside barrier, but I didn't touch it. All I did was try and take a slightly later apex to set up a move into the hairpin. And I just lost the rear. And it's weird because the entire event I've been understeering through that corner every time. But
there's like a split moment going into the camber where you lift.
Yeah.
And I think it looks like you just kept your foot in, and as you held it, it just went on you.
Yeah.
But you got the name win and spin, but you're supposed to win first. That
was like, I must go. My people need me.
Just some donut practice. You don't get to do it so often.
I think he just wanted to get behind Harrison, and that was the quickest way to do it.
That was it. All right, do you want to see the graphic? There we go. The potato move graphic.
Nice.
Yes. Luke and Ollie are the first two. There's only going to be one potato at Exeter because it's a 4-day.
Oh, it's got to be me. It always is.
Yes. Anyway, that's that. I got another thing. It's called the gourmet move of the race, and this is
a good move then.
A good move, and this is by me.
Okay.
Just blow my own horn around the outside there. That was a great move. So I win the gourmet move of the race. Well done, me.
I wasn't that impressed, if I'm honest with you.
Well, I'm choosing, so I choose it.
Well, you have the triple cutback that James did.
Yeah, that actually was good. I was going to mention that next, actually. So James and Jake both had a really good triple cutback move on the under the bridge corner, but I can be bothered to cut it. So,
but you win anyway, right?
I win. I rigged it, and I'd rig it again. All right. So we look at the next round then. So next round of the championship is at Race World in Exeter. So why don't we have a look at some onboard footage from last year? And Sam, you're quite good at Exeter. Do you want to talk us through how that goes?
Yeah,
This
I can do.
is from Mark's crotch camera. There we go.
Yeah, so start finish line is here. So you move a little bit to the left, long right hander, nice and tight, over to the left, brake, hold it to the left here, over to the right, over to the left, and then you keep your foot in all the way down here, and then it's a very sharp 180 turn hairpin, and another one that comes on the right. Very easy to hit the walls there. You got to be very careful. Catch a bit of air, big brake, turn left, stay in the middle, a little bit more to the left, and then just straight across the line.
Yeah, nice. So this is the second part of the event for us. So we're actually finalising the format after this call in our own kind of private call, but it's more or less finalised. So the morning event is reverse circuit. So none of us have done that before. That is a full normal event. So that'll run through till round about 2 p.m. I think, and you're scoring points for round 3 in the championship at that. Then we're going to have a quick lunch break. We're going to put the track back to normal, and then we're going to do the same event again and score points for round 4 of the championship. And then within those 2 events, there are people that are going to go through to the super final at the end of the evening, which is going to be at about 9 p.m. And that'll be on the regular circuit. It'll be just kind of like a standalone event. And the winner of that is the winner of the overall event. They're the one that gets the £200 cash prize. They get the... Have we got some trophies for this as well?
We do, yeah. Unique trophies. They're not the usual.
So that's good. So unique trophies on that. There's not going to be pit stops and reverse races because the entrance to the pit lane is unsuitable. So it's just going to be a normal without pit stops in the first one. They are quite quick fire, the races there. We have got quite big grids, if I remember correctly. The loose plan, I think, is to have about 4 groups in the adults and 2 in the juniors that kind of run alongside each other. Whether they get mixed together, I'm not quite sure yet. That's what we're going to talk about in a sec. But yeah, similar sort of thing where you get different grid starts from different races, I imagine. And you've got like a little bit gone.
Yeah, I think the way that's going to work with the first event, obviously, being that the track is reversed, hopefully no one's ever going to have any experience on it. So the idea really is to just, in your heats, not go backwards. Try and gain a couple of places in each heat and go forward that way. And if you have an absolutely terrible event, going into the second event, back to the normal layout, try and get to the top 10, and you'll be qualified for the super final. So out of the 2 events, you can have a bad round and still make that super pole final in the end and then sort of redeem yourself. So yeah, it'll be a bit of a unique day. I'm quite excited that there's a £200 cash prize on the line and some trophies, which I think are extremely cool.
So that's that cash prize is the usual thing for us, where it's a £200 cash voucher. So we encourage you to use it on a selection of our things. But yeah,
and the day itself is a championship. So the winner of the round will be classed as the indoor karting champion. So it is a championship within the championship. So it's quite exciting.
It should be cool. We've got the food open in the morning. So Exeter's cafe is historically quite sporadic. So I think they're open in the morning, and then from about 2 o'clock, I'm going to see about a food van. Alternatively, they've got the farm shops around the corner, and the time in between your races is quite a decent amount of time. So you'll be able to leave the venue, go get some food, then come on back as well. And of course, you don't have to do the full day as well. So if you do the first one, you get bored, then just tell us, then we can work it out. But we've deliberately put it on a Saturday. So if you do end up doing the full event, you've got the Sunday to recover as well. But early start of that, don't forget. So arrival, I think, is from 8 a.m. I'll confirm that. So if you're traveling from far away, it's probably not a bad idea to get a hotel on the Friday night. So there's a few cheap ones around there. I think I'm getting a hotel on the Friday night because I'm going to go to the track and do some admin there. I am going to... One thing we need to talk about is the drop rounds thing that we've been looking at. So do you want to say about that, Sam?
Yes, we've had a few drivers sort of come forward to say that they're only doing 4 rounds plus the Exeter day, which means a total of 6 rounds, which highlighted an issue because we were forcing everyone to drop their worst result of the day at Exeter. And obviously those drivers that are doing Exeter plus 4 rounds essentially are forced to drop out the championship with 5 rounds. So yeah, it was brought to light after round 2. So we've sort of made the decision really that if you have 2 good rounds at Exeter, you can carry both results. And if you've had 2 bad rounds so far already, you can choose not to drop Exeter. So yeah, ultimately, if you do every single round of the championship, it is your best 6 of 9, am I correct in thinking? So your worst 3 results of the 9 rounds will be dropped. There is no compulsory Exeter drop round anymore, which I think is a good thing. You know, there's a fair few people which have probably had 1 or 2 rounds gone sour already. So yeah, I think it's only a good thing. It sort of allows everyone to come back.
I can't remember why we even had that rule. I think there was some reason, but...
Well, I think it's just more of if you have the same winner twice, for example, it's forcing them to drop it, I suppose, isn't it? So,
yeah.
But
it's no different to someone being good at one track and then, you know.
Yeah.
So one of the issues we had at Herefordshire was the point system that the track used. So it's a bit confusing. So I think what we're going to try and do, we are definitely going to do it at Raceway. I'm going to manually track points on like a Google sheet that you can view. So it's going to be probably a bit linked because I love those, but you can view it whenever you want. I'll put it up on the screen at Exeter. We'll use the points that we do for the championship. You can just view it live. So that will basically take out any of the confusion over have the penalties been applied, are they being applied later. We'll just use our own thing and then go to the track after the heats and say, here's the lineup that we want for the finals. And we will try and do that for later rounds. It'll be a bit of a trial at Race World. The reason why it's not always that simple is because we are at our base level still treated like a corporate kind of karting series. So it's a bit difficult to explain that when you're trying to get it booked in, but we will try and get it sorted. A lot of the tracks are very receptive to it. But yeah, we want to try and avoid the confusion that we had at Herefordshire because that was brought up a couple of times.
There's only so much power that the tracks give us on the day. So yeah, obviously we want to do everything we can to make every round very similar and the same and stuff. But each track has their own system, their own processes, and we've got to respect it to a degree. We can only ask. So yeah, we're doing our best. But suggestions, fire them away because yeah, obviously all we want to do is improve.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Cool. And there'll be some more information coming out about next year soon as well, because we're already in the planning stages for that. And the secret event is going to be announced on 1st of June. So 1 month. Very exciting. Okay. All right. Do you want to know the driver of the day then? Let's have a look. So we have had 27 votes. Yeah, I definitely didn't turn off the double vote thing, but all right. Fine. So we...
before you say it, how many did you vote for, Luke?
I voted for 3 people.
I voted for 4.
Oh, God, you're the problem.
All right. Sam, who did you vote for?
So I voted for 2. I normally only vote for 1, so let me off. I voted for Morgan Durant because it's his best ever result, and he drove stunning all day, and he climbed up the A final to finish in a 1-2 with his dad, which I thought was very cool. The second vote was to Zach Venn because lately that guy has just been on it. He's moving further and further up the grid, and an unfortunate A final dropped him off the podium on the last lap, but he deserved to be there.
What about you, Luke?
I voted for Morgan as well, similar reasons to Sam. I also voted for Jennifer because I thought she did brilliantly to make it into the A final, and I had a really good battle with her in that final as well. And I also voted for Charlie Summers as well, who also got into the A final. I think all 3 of them did brilliantly.
What about you, Ollie?
Well, I forgot about it, so I just voted.
I wonder what that was. Who are you voting for right now, then?
Charlie Summers, because he destroyed all of us in our team, and he was absolutely flying at Hereford.
Yeah, he embarrassed you a little bit, didn't he? Okay, I voted for Morgan and Neil because they were the class of the field, and I also voted for Tom Seabrook. He was miles ahead in Circuit 2. And also Jonathan Purton, he came second. He was, from his Coombe performance, he came like 49th out of 54 at Coombe, and then he came up to second in Am for this round, so that was really good. So yeah, that's that. We are going to be finalising the teams, or are in the process of finalising the teams now. So if you are unattached to a team and you want to join one, at the moment, my plan is to have an SRK rookies team like I did last year. But if you want to join a specific team that's already been established, then just tell me and I'll get that set up. But anyone that's got, anyone that's doing, I think it's 4 rounds or more is going to be attached to a team, if I remember correctly. I was trying to make it work the other day. So, and then the only other thing that I need to mention is that on the driver points from Herefordshire, there was one heat that I didn't apply a penalty, which was, I think it was heat 1. Ben Chick got disqualified because he was underweight, so I didn't apply that. So I've redone that on my results, but it doesn't affect too much. Cool. All right. So driver of the day stuff. So with 1 vote, we have got George Braun, Sam Cox, Dylan Evans, Rob Johnson, Luca Macheka, Mark O'Grady, John Purton, and Liam Wilkinson. With 2 votes, we have got Neil Durant with 2 votes. That's like what? That's me and you, isn't it? Crazy. Neil Durant with 2 votes. Seb Miller with 2. I got 2 votes. Zach Venn got 2 votes. With 3 votes is Tom Seabrook. And then with 6 votes is Jamie Simmons, I call shenanigans. And Morgan Durant also has 6 votes. And Jen has 6 votes as well. But edging it with 7 was Charlie Summers. So well done, Charlie Summers. I don't care if there was shenanigans, you win. Well done. So good. Who's your winner?
You win nothing.
You win nothing. Maybe a potato.
I know we can sort them out with the Shrek DVD, right?
I was just about to say.
Don't you worry.
A Shrek sticker for a driver of the day.
Yeah, you can have a Shrek sticker. Oh, okay. So last thing I'll say is merch update. So we've got caps and mugs back in stock now. Sam, I'm going to chase you today to make the season jersey. So that's going to be ready for Race World. And I'm looking into patches as well. So if you, So if you want to buy caps, mugs, or t-shirts, you can either pre-order it on just by sending us the money as you normally do, or you can buy it at Race World on the merch stand. But that's pretty much us done today. Thank you to Broken Logo. They were the round sponsor. So have a chat with Ian Pook. If you've got any design needs, put all his details up in the last Facebook post. And as ever, thanks to our championship sponsors, Tech Cycle Solutions, ADS Painting and Decorating, Swift Cooper, The Car Guy, and we are supporting Race Against Dementia this year. Excellent. That's pretty much that from us today. So thank you for watching, everyone, and we'll see you in... Oh, hang on. Brad's just asked for the championship results. Go on Facebook. That's it. Goodbye.